What can you tell us more about these projects that we would like to include people?
Absolutely. So I just had a call with one of my clients. So we take them through an assessment. So we have an assessment for communication leadership assessment. So we took everyone through that assessment, and now we have a group report that we share with the leader. So when we look at that group report, there are things that the team could do. So in other words, it suggests these are some ways that you can improve your team performance. And when I sat with this leader, I said, okay, so if you go with these ideas and you just present these ideas to your team, they're going to probably say, well, this is something that comes from my leader, or is this report? Like, I don't even trust this report. So what I suggest them to do is to have a conversation, say, here is what are some suggestions for us to work on, and then get the ownership of the team. Like, okay, so this report says that we should create some systems to stay more organized. Do you feel this is something that we should improve upon? And if they say yes, then you want to include them and say, hey, what are some systems we can create? So let's brainstorm a little bit. So when you brainstorm with your team, then you can prioritize 2 or 3 things that then the team will work on. So that way you give them, as you said, some projects to work on that are not their work, but this is for the continuous improvement of the team. But you want the team to be included in that, rather than you coming and say, hey, this is the things that I want us to work on. You have a conversation and say, hey, these are some guidelines. So we've done this assessment just to help us have some objective view on our team composition. And now these are some suggestions. So this report suggests us to do this and that and that. Okay, do you feel this is something we should be doing? This is something that you also see that it will help us improve? Or do you feel that we don't have any problem here? Because that's, you want their buy-in. If they say, well, I don't think we have a problem here, Florian, I say, okay, great, okay, good. I'm not going to force that on you, because then I try to convince you. But then let's go to something else. So where do you think we should be improving? So that way you include your team in the team development. And when you include them and they come with ideas, then they also take ownership of those ideas, and then they build on those ideas. And that way, in which they have ownership of those ideas. And that will also fuel them. So that will give them something that they will work on next week, and some things to love about last week, because they get involved into the development of the team. They feel included rather than being top down and just imposed on them.